Hello, hello, hello. Are we live? Uh, post, post. Let's see. Cancel. Um, GitHub Workspace. Video. All right. We are live on X. We are live on YouTube. And just to make sure, yeah, the audio is on. Full speaker. Hi there. Here we are for another live stream. Today, the situation was this: I couldn't be in the office, so I had to be away. But here's my main development PC. So how do I continue to develop software if I'm not at the computer? Well, you could say, yeah, take the laptop. Well, the laptop my wife is using and on a video conference, so I can't take the laptop. So how about using the iPad instead? Yeah. Okay, so the iPad, uh, I have an iPad. Do I have Xcode on the iPad? No, I don't have Xcode on the iPad. What else do I have? Well, it just so happened recently that GitHub uh, released or sort of put out the GitHub Workspace, and I thought that that might be a good idea to essentially give it a go. And I tried it out a couple of times, failed initially, but then got to a result. So I'm going to show this to you first. And the other thing then is to actually try to go through the process of actually making a change. Yeah. So uh, let me show you on the screen here. I have the if you go to Workspace, GitHub Copilot Workspace, I I see you see I have some things here going, and the result of it, I don't have the session anymore, but the result of it was essentially that I created this implemented MD file, and the idea was I wouldn't want to mess with the code just yet, but creating a markdown file that lists capabilities and commands in IMAP and SMTP, and basically gives us a short explanation, and also produces this list of what is implemented already and what isn't implemented already. So, by the way, why do we not? Is this the wrong screen? Huh. OBS, you are forever a mystery to me. So let's see, OBS app. I'm seeing the touch ID or enter password. That should be display, window capture, display capture. All right, here we are. Sorry about that. So I'm okay, back to this. So this is basically on the Coconetic SwiftMail. I wanted to create this markdown file, and I wanted to use GitHub Copilot for it. And I ended up having a quite good result. It was a bit difficult at first, but I ended up, this is how I wanted it to be. So essentially the IMAP capability, these first three, I'm already supporting, and these are some more that are usual capabilities for IMAP servers that are not yet supported. With the commands, similar, I've got capability login, logout, so it was able to produce all of these, but unfortunately I had to somewhat cheat. Yeah. Let me show you in the what I actually did on my MacBook, or rather on my iPad. So on the iPad, I have the GitHub app, yeah, and on the GitHub app, you have also the GitHub Copilot. And does it still show? No, it doesn't show the conversation anymore that I had. New conversation. Maybe I can go into the projects. No, not on the projects, in the issues. Well, I was able to essentially do this, go into the repository SwiftMail, and then chat with GitHub Copilot and say, make me a list of support of IMAP commands supported by IMAP server Swift. And if you are in the repository, it's able to see all the code, and then it basically determined these are the commands I have. And I did the same for SMTP server, for the capabilities of both. And then this was the input for GitHub Workspace. Yeah. So it sort of had a bit of problems to get all the information back together, to aggregate them. So here we are again. So this is the result. I also had a bit trouble, like there's a situation that the list command, for example, there's a special version available of list. If you just list, then it gives you the mailboxes. But if you list special use, it gives you the mailboxes that have a special use, like draft, inbox, send, and so on. Yeah. And I wanted it to be listed like this. So, but in the end, this is now almost like I wanted. What is missing in this case is I also wanted to add other commands that are generally supported by mail servers, but without a check mark. So this file should be sort of a list, like a progress report, how much is implemented of the standards and the extensions, so that somebody who might want to contribute, or even if I have some time, I could say, okay, here we go. Let's look at the idle command. Yeah. And we are now today going to, in this video, going to try to enhance this list to add the commands here that aren't supported yet. Yeah. And how do we do that? Yeah. Well, again, let's again switch to the iPad. So on the iPad, you would go to the workspace, GitHub Copilot Workspace. You would sign in with GitHub, yeah, which I already have. So I should, okay, I need to fill in my password, use my passkey, and use my face ID. Okay. And when I'm logged in, okay, here we are. This is my workspace. And let's actually delete the sessions that I had here. So initially there's nothing here. So you say, I want to create a new session. So I choose a repository, will work on SwiftMail. And then I get my dialog to ask me what I want to do. So here I'm describing. I could even do that verbally, but I think I'll more precise if I type on the project root file implemented.md. aggregate the lists of commands into one big list. And I don't want that. I quite like that it's that we have what I showed you here, that we have the mailbox commands and the message commands separately. So I actually like that. Okay. So what we're going to do, not to do any aggregating, I would like to add commonly implemented or commonly supported IMAP and SMTP server commands that are not implemented in SwiftMail yet, and show them with an empty check mark. Keep the current structure of grouping. Yeah. So you say what you want, and then there are two buttons, either to brainstorm or to generate a plan. What I found interesting to do is actually to first do brainstorming, because it asks itself some questions. Yeah. And here's the question it comes up with: how do I solve this task? Yeah. So it would look at the current behavior and look at the proposed solution. Let's say what it says. Okay, no commonly supported commands are not implemented. No commonly supported that are not implemented in SwiftMail yet are not added to the file with an empty checkmark. So it basically says this is not yet the case, and then the proposed solution is what is there. So this is sort of the first idea from brainstorming that's in there. So you always have like a first brainstorming, but you can also ask additional questions to sort of inform the whole process before you generate the plan. Yeah. So you can ask, for example, here's a good suggestion: which IMAP and SFTP commands are commonly supported but not implemented. So you tap on that, and then it will uh, show you. Okay, SMTP, the binary MIME. And if you like, if you think this is a good question, it gives good answers, then you can tap on add to task, then it adds it over there. Yeah. And then it would re-evaluate how to solve the task. Yeah. Let's see, is there how to prioritize, how to test, more ideas. No, I think this is about it. Yeah. Let's see, how do I solve the task? Yeah. So it added what it got in ideas uh, from the brainstorming. Yeah. Before it didn't have this. The file now lists unimplemented IMAP capabilities, idle, literal plus, compress, deflate. I could ask a question. Um, actually, I just realized this is actually wrong. Is not, those are not commands, but capabilities. I want commands that I have added yet. So this is now a question that I came up with, that it didn't come up with yourself. These commands are listed with an empty check mark. No, I want you to look at the IMAP and SMTP standards to find commands that are not in my list yet. Let's see. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah. Unselect, enable, ID, constr, SMTP, size, pipeline, chunking. MD5 method. Yeah. This is a good question. So we'll add this to the task. And now it thinks again, how can it solve this task? Yeah. So the proposed solution would be to list unimplemented IMAP capability and unimplemented SMB capabilities. And actually, this is again wrong. So we don't want to this. Yeah. So I actually want to update the spec. I wanted to add the commands, not the capabilities. Yeah. So IMAP capabilities. Yeah. Idle, unselect, enable. That's a bit more like it. Yeah. Unselect, cram, descent. All right. If we're happy with this, yeah, we can now proceed to generate a plan. So I generate the plan. And while it's doing that, now imagine I'm really out and about, and this might be on my iPad or it might be my phone, yeah. And you have ideas. There's this problem that I would like to do something about. And if you can sort of iterate with GitHub verbally and nudge it in the direction that it understands what you want to do, then at the end, yeah, here we now have a plan that it says to modify implemented.md to add this unimplemented IMAP commands and the unimplemented SMTP commands. And when we're done with our plan, then we go click implemented and it proceeds to working. And you can open this up. You see it modifying the file here. Okay. Now, if you compare this to the other thing, okay, and it shows you on the left the, can I sort this now? On the left, you see the old version, on the right, the new version. And if you press on the I here, you see how it would turn out. So it says, okay, sort thread. Now it's mixing together capabilities and commands. And that's not what I wanted. Yeah. So make sure that you keep capabilities and commands separate. Right now you are mixing them. Let's see. Writing the analysis. Maybe I have to go back. Yeah, you see that it revised the plan to deal separately with unimplemented IMAP commands, SMTP commands, IMAP capabilities, SMTP capabilities. And let's see what comes out of that. But this is the kind of development work you could do while being on the road, say, and every once in a while you let it work. And when it's done, you go back and check, is this now more usable? Okay, capabilities, quota names, and so weiter, commands. Aha, here's now an unselect command without checkmark. Here's search and e-search for the messages, other commands. Very nice. Yeah, that's exactly how I wanted it. You have, yeah, capabilities. So just so that you know, capabilities is what the server responds as, I'm able to do this. And the commands are actually what the client sends to the server. To give an example, there's a copy command, yeah, and the copy command, if you implement that the standard way, the basic way, you give it a sequence number in the currently selected mailbox, but there is a feature called UID plus on here. And if that is supported by the mail server, you can actually use this unique identifier, which is more robust than a sequence number, to also copy stuff. Yeah. So the server would say, I support UID plus, and then if I send the move command, I can use the move command that uses UIDs. So back to what we are doing here on away from keyboard on the iPad. So this now looks very, very much like what I wanted it to do. Yeah. Apparently, there's not much more to supporting commands in SMTP, just some more capabilities. But we're happy so far. So I can do at the top right, create a pull request, and I can even generate a description here. So that's the other thing with pull requests. You always type so much, and this even does it for you. So we can create it. Yeah. And as soon as that is done, we can open it in GitHub. And since I'm on the iPad, have my GitHub app available, I come directly into the pull request. And you see that it created an add unimplemented commands branch. And it's now wants it to merge it to main. Yeah, and let's just read. Very nice description. Very, very nice. I could now wait for the checks, because what it now does is it does a build and a Linux build. Yeah. So just to show that off, this is here. I'm running Swift test both on Linux as well as on Mac. Yeah. And I could wait for that to go through, but it has no bearing. This Markdown file has no bearing on whether this builds or not. So I just merge it. Yeah, merge my pull request as olivercoconetics.com. And when I'm done, I can delete the branch. Yeah. And there you are. So if I now go to my projects, no, not my projects, issues. If I go, rather actually, let's go back to the big monitor, full screen. If I refresh this page, now we have the capabilities, and here now we have the newly added commands added. Yeah? And I didn't type any of that. GitHub Copilot did. And I have to admit, I'm a bit chicken. Yeah, I'm using a lot cursor these days to make these changes. But I'm thinking GitHub Copilot probably can also uh, do more elaborate things, and that's a feature that I've in the past asked Cursor to implement, because I would like for a way to use Cursor agent mode away from my computer. Yeah, and that's exactly what GitHub Workspaces does. Yeah. And one drawback of GitHub Workspaces at the moment still is that you are limited to how much you can use it. Yeah. When I initially tested it, I kept getting a message that I ran into a use limit, and it said try again in an hour or so. So that's a bit annoying. If you like to, you get hooked on making progress this way, and then it tells you, yeah, sorry, come back later. But the promise of the future really is that you work with something like GitHub Workspace, or maybe some cloud version of Cursor in the future, uh, to to make progress on your projects. And now one question: GitHub GitHub Workspace, I think, is limited to public code at the moment. Yeah, I got some notification a while back that they now made it free, I think, even Copilot and Copilot Workspace. And I don't know how it is with private repositories, uh, but certainly at some point in the future, you'll also be able to work on private repositories. And maybe that's then the use case for if you like me and you don't have your code on GitLab, uh, on GitHub, but rather on GitLab, you still want to be uh, able to develop like that. Yeah. So that's it for today. That's me showing off GitHub Workspace. Uh, if you liked it, give the video a like. You can subscribe and ring the bell and so on. And thank you for watching. Until next time.